So I like to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakha Kadash. That belongs to the apostles and elders of GMS. And salutations to you brothers out there that's doing work in truth and sincerity, right? So to finish up Salakia, to finish up the hatred that Esau had for you, going back, let's just bring this back real quick. Going back into this video, Chief, right here, the title says Chief recorded bragging about killing blacks. And in the first video, there's another image that I showed where it says that, he said that he shot an N-word 119 times. Right? So he brags about how he kills you so-called blacks. And the reason why it's happening more to you Jakes than to any other of our tribes is because you are the head tribe. Right? So little brother always follow big brother. So if big brother going off, little brother's going to go off. And big brother get more into trouble than the little brother is. This is why judgment is coming down more heavily upon big brother. You Jakes, man. You so-called blacks. You the southern kingdom, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So let's go back to this. Going back into that hatred. This is my bad. Amos chapter 1 verse 11. And it says, "Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom," right? Again, Adawam. That's what Edom mean. Salakia, and I said Esau means Adawam in the first video. Salakia, that was a slip of the tongue. Edom means Adawam, which means red. I believe Esau means wasted away, but that's something I'll have to look back into. And you can do the research yourself, man. It says, "And for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword." So why in the book of Amos, it's still talking about Esau and Jacob? Esau and Jacob is dead. So why is it still talking about Esau and Jacob? Because Jacob represents the Israelites. Esau represents the Edomites. That's why when you go into the book of Genesis 36 and 8, it says, "For Esau is Edom," right? So Esau represents the Edomites. Jacob represents the Israelites. This is why it's still talking about them even during this point of time. So it says, "Thus saith the Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I would not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and then cast off all pity. And his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever." So he kept his wrath forever. That wrath is still here by way of the elites. See, the elites, they have the books. They have the knowledge, right? So they know who Jacob is. They know that you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the chosen people of the Most High. They know that, man. But in order for them to touch you, in order for them to touch you, they use these peon Edomites to touch you. They use these peon Edomites to kill you, to slay you, to eat you, to rape you, to beat you. And they use ways of justification to do it. Oh, he had a gun. Oh, we thought he had a gun. All this and that and that. Before, they didn't need a reason. If they just wanted to put you to death, they was able to do that. If an Edomite just didn't like you as a slave, he had every right to do whatever he wanted to do with you. If he wanted to throw a rope on a tree and hang your ass just for the fun of it, and have you choke, and in a minute of your death, drop you to the ground, bring you back to life, he had every right to do that, man. According to those days, in that point of time. If he wanted to hang you, right, and have you choking and then burned you at the same time, he had every right to do it. If he wanted to castrate you, make you eat your own penis, he had every right to do it back in those days, man. So there was no punishments or consequences coming down upon these Edomites for what they was doing to you as you was slaves under them, man. If he wanted to rape you, he would rape you in front of your whole family. He did that, and you had These same ass Edomites from the north that you people say that helped us out of slavery and blah, blah. These same Edomites from the north was coming to the south doing the same things, and they will pay the slave master to do those things to you, man. A lot of these Edomites from the north was going to the south doing those things, man. Until Jake started rising up against them and causing outroars and killing whole families, the North became afraid and said they can uprise against the South, win against the South, and come over here and do the same thing to us. So they wanted you in slavery in a different way, not the way that it was being done by you being raped and consumed and burnt alive and everything like that. They just wanted it in a different way that can keep you from trying to kill them. And the way they looked at it was to have you work, but have you work by choice. So what they did was, when you were able to become free, so-called free, they call it, you had to find a way to work. You had to find a way to do all those things. So if you was to go to steal, they set up the prison system and had your ass locked up. So that was a whole different way of putting you in captivity. You so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you would never be out of captivity until the Lord comes, man. You're still under your oppressor. You still in captivity, like Baruch said. You're in captivity to this very day. I think that's Baruch, the 4th chapter. Right? So again, Amos 1:11, thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever, man. Forever. This is the book of Ezekiel. Now, and a lot of people will be offended over this. A lot of people, they not evil. They not like that anymore. They changed. It's different. You can't hold that grudge against them. The only reason why you saying that, let me explain to you. Salaki, bear with me for a second. It's kind of hot in this truck, so I'm wiping the sweat off. The only reason why you saying that is because your ass isn't bearing witness to your kids being eaten alive, man, or being boiled alive, or being thrown to be eaten by alligators. The only reason why you saying that is because your ass isn't tied up to a tree being whipped by a bullwhip, man, having your flesh torn apart. The only reason why you saying that is because you're not seeing a whole lot of Negroes being hung up on trees. You haven't experienced what our ancestors, which we are our ancestors, you haven't experienced what we experienced back in the day. That's why you don't have that hatred. If you could remember all the things that they did unto you, you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans will be in no wise saying what you saying now, man. That hatred will build up. It's two things. Either that hatred will build up, or you will be so messed up mentally, your ass will be hiding in a corner somewhere, man, thinking that that's going to happen to you again, because something like that would traumatize the hell out of you, man. Watching somebody being cut up from foot all the way to torso, man. Watching his limbs being cut all because he dropped a damn water pot. Or being whipped half to death because you dropped an egg, man. You so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're only saying that because what was happening to us back in the ancient, I would say back in the ancient world, back 100 years ago. Plus, the only reason why you saying that is because you haven't physically experienced it. And that's all through the Spirit and the power of the Most High, because the Lord said, there's no remembrance of the former things. So you don't remember getting hung on a tree. You don't remember having your back whipped until your flesh was just open, man. You don't remember watching your kids being boiled in pots. You don't remember any of those things, man, because the Lord took that from you. Now we get little explanations of these things, you know, because it's written in some type of history. But to really remember, to mentally remember everything that happened to you, the Lord wiped that from your memory, man. So Ezekiel 35 and actually 1, moreover the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, which is modern day America today, and prophesied against it, and say unto it, Thus saith Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir, which the Lord is speaking to the Edomites, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate by way of nuclear missiles. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Because thou hast had a perpetual, which means continual, hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel, right, being the southern and northern kingdom, by the force, because the scriptures tell you that we went into captivity together, man. Right? We went into captivity together. That's in the book of Jeremiah, I believe, 50. So this is the book of Jeremiah 50 and 33. And the scripture says, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them held, all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go, man. So going back into the book of Ezekiel, which we're going to end it from here, Ezekiel 35 and 5, Esau still have that hatred, man, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and have shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, and the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. It says, Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Say, if thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So going back into this video here, if you brothers ever get a chance to watch it, you know, Esau, there was another officer. I don't know if he was a so-called black man or a so-called white man, but for him explaining what he explained, obviously he was talking to another so-called white man. So no way he'll be talking to another so-called black officer about something like this. So he pretty much lets you know off the back that he's like, hey, you know, you can go out there and kill a nigga on accident. You could say he had it. He didn't say this, but I'm using this as an example. If you was to turn around and go kill a so-called black man and say that he had a gun, this police chief will cover it up, man. And they have the power to do that. Police chiefs have the power to maneuver the situation the way they want to fit it, man. But it have to be reasonable. It have to be understandable. Okay, so you said while he was running, it looked like he was going to pull out a gun, so you fired upon him. And they will use situations like that to try to get away with murdering you jakes, man. So, yeah, you know, that's not perpetual hatred. But other than that, I'm going to end it from there and say, Lord willing, this was edifying. Barakatah Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Shalom.